That's fucking un-American.
That's fucking un-American. That's fucking un-American.
It basically is the French military was there. This is their opportunity to celebrate an American Thanksgiving, which they've never done. Do Americans eat like this all the time? And she asked me, what is this? And I was like, it's pumpkin pie. Ronnie Long, E4, which is a corporal of Marines with 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, and we're going to talk about a story that happened in 2012 for Thanksgiving, since that's what just passed. Okay, so this is about the story of how I celebrated Thanksgiving in Djibouti, Africa. All right. I got separated from the 15th MEU, and I ended up somehow in Africa, from Thailand to Africa. While I was there, I happened to be the only Marine there at the time because of the certain situation. It's an Air Force base. I did have a staff sergeant that came with me, but he was dealing with other stuff at this time, and so it was just basically me and a bunch of Air Force people and the Djiboutian contractors and other type of contractors that came around. I had a bit of a story about me at this point in time, so I would get a lot of eyes. A lot of people were watching me. My face was really, I'll say, damaged. I had a lot of scars and reconstruction going on, so it was kind of I was kind of like a sight to see. But at the same time, no one really wanted to talk to me specifically. And this was getting around the time of Thanksgiving. I've been separated for quite a while from my unit, and when Thanksgiving was coming around, it was one of those things I was just kind of by myself. I couldn't really call my family because there was very limited phone use, like the Zoom calls. I can't remember what it was back in the day, but like you had the online calls for the families, but the line for that was like hours long, so everyone was trying to get a little bit in, and there was like a time limit of like 30 minutes or something like that, 15 to 30, but it was way too much. So my Thanksgiving ended up just me being by myself, not really talking to anyone else, and going to the chow hall to just go have Thanksgiving dinner, right? And the spread's really good. It's an Air Force base, so you can imagine there's actual silverware, real plates and all that, and so it's really nice. And I'm looking, you see all the enlisted and some of the officers on the outskirts of the whole thing, and there's like this table, a very long table in the middle of the chow hall, and no one was sitting there. It was probably reserved, but at the same time, there was nowhere else I could sit, so I decided to sit right there, right in the middle, by myself, with no one around. And while I'm there, a gentleman walks up. I haven't even started eating yet. He walks up, I look up, it's a very high-ranking individual in the Air Force on the officer side, right? He looks at me and he was like, "Are you Corporal Long?" And I was like, "I am Corporal Long, sir." And he was like, "I could tell because I could see it on your face." And what he meant was scars. My face was so messed up at this point in time. And he was like, "I heard about you and I heard what happened. And I see you're sitting by yourself, Corporal, and I want to know. I have these French military leaders with me. I have some French foreign dignitaries. It basically is the French military was there, higher ups who were running some operations in Africa, and they're on base, and this is their opportunity to celebrate an American Thanksgiving, which they've never done. And he asked me if I wouldn't mind sharing my dinner, like having dinner with them, and kind of explaining the history of Thanksgiving to the French. I don't know why he thought that was going to be a good idea. Like, I'm a walking encyclopedia. I do know some interesting facts, but I'm not like an expert of anything. But I was like, sure, why not? In classic Ronnie fashion, I said, why the hell not? Go ahead, bring them in, right? So I'm there. They sit down. The whole table's filled, right? Really high rank and stuff. I don't really know what their rank structure is, but you can see like there's all the ribbons and all the stuff. I'm in just regular camis. So everyone else is like in like their dress uniforms. They're looking nice. And we start talking, right? We start eating, having a bit of a discussion about different things. We're having fun with it, right? And I should mention they have alcohol. They are drinking alcohol. Like wine and beer was going on their sides. I don't drink. I probably could have had some. not interested. I was just having fun having this conversation. And that was pretty lively. How I am talking now is pretty much how I was talking to them. Conversation, moving, right? And then I remember one of them looked at me who's like, do Americans eat like this all the time? I remember I looked him dead in the face. I was like, I want to say no. But you've seen Americans. We eat like this probably way too much. And, it gets a little bit of joking going on. Everyone's kind of laughing. We're picking on each other a little bit. Not too much yet. It's still kind of like light bar laughter. And then I remember I was looking around and I see one of the women. She's probably the lowest ranking person there. She's also the youngest person there besides myself. And I see her, and before her is a plate with an orange slice, right? It's a slice of pumpkin pie. But she's looking at it like it's a freaking math problem she has to solve. She doesn't know what it is, apparently, or something. Like, she was confused at the concoction that was on her plate before her. I went to culinary school later on, and I guess pies are more of an American thing. They have tarts over there. That's a whole different thing. It's whatever. She's looking at this, and she didn't know what it is. I looked at her, and I asked, what, is there something wrong? And she asked me, what is this? And I was like, it's pumpkin pie. In my opinion, I would say that it's probably the best thing that's on this entire table. And she looks at me, she looks at that, and she picks up her fork, and she takes the smallest little tip off, like the little tiny triangle up in the front. She cuts that off. She puts it on the tip of her tongue, and then she gave the most French, disgusted face ever. She's like, ugh, like she wanted to spit it out so quickly. And something came over me. I think the Marine in me, maybe, came over. But I knife handed her, and I straight up said, that's fucking un-American. The whole table burst into laughter. The hardest, gut-wrenching laughter you can imagine. Like, they're fucking choking on their food and alcohol right now, laughing. She's still just disgusted with the pie. She threw it away and all that stuff. And then they start mimicking me. They start pointing at each other just like, that's fucking un-American. That's fucking un-American. And everyone's yelling at each other, it's fucking un-American. I'm yelling at them like it is fucking un-American. A pumpkin pie is the best thing going on. And we're just yelling at each other, laughing our asses off. And then I pan the room for a second. And I'm looking at every other person in the room who wasn't at my table, judging me horribly, just giving me the worst stink eye ever. I could have been at your guys' table, but no. You guys didn't want to hang out with me because of my messed up face and the weird story that came along with it. But no, now I'm having fun with the French over here. We're making as much noise as possible. So I'm celebrating Thanksgiving, yelling at a bunch of French people. They're drunk. We're having fun. We're having a great time. And it actually was one of my favorite Thanksgivings I've ever had in my life. I don't really know if you want to think of a moral of the story, but the biggest thing that I can take from this is it didn't matter that I was a Marine. It didn't matter that I was enlisted and they were officer. It didn't matter if they were French. It didn't matter anything. The fact of the matter is that we were in the weirdest predicament ever because we were in Africa, in Djibouti, in an Air Force base. They are French. I'm American. Enlisted officers. Yet we're all celebrating an American holiday together just to enjoy each other's time. The camaraderie I felt there was very similar to the ones that I kind of had with my own brothers in the Marine Corps. Obviously, it's very different, but the common denominator is we all wore the uniform. We all were away from home. We all were far away, but yet we were able to enjoy each other's presence for a holiday that was something that we got to experience together. It didn't matter whether we were from different countries. It didn't matter if we spoke different languages. Food is a universal language for everyone. And I guess a little bit of liquor as well. I still don't know. I've never tasted it. But the overall story of this, we need that kind of community together. We kind of need this. We do need the camaraderie. We do need the communication. We do need the friendships that come about. And there's something about wearing the uniform that connects people no matter where they're at in the entire world. If you wore the uniform, if you have gone through some type of boot camp, if you've gone through some kind of discipline program like that, and You've lived your life for this, so live for something that's greater than that. The only other people who've done the same thing can really understand you. Doesn't matter what branch it is, doesn't matter what country it is. The uniform completely erases all that and creates equal playing field. Creates an equal playing field. To this day, I still haven't had as much of a fun Thanksgiving as that one. But I prefer the ones now because I have my kids with me. But I'll always remember my 2012 Thanksgiving in Djibouti, Africa. That's it. That's a story.